I'm Angie. Today we are here with Sergei Tiviakov, who wrote both of these books. And first of the books is called Pawn Structures. So we made some questions regarding these. How do you choose which pawn structures to study in the first book?
Good afternoon to everybody. So there are different pawn structures in chess, and they can appear from different openings. Of course, since this is a very important subject in chess, previously there were books written on different pawn structures, and my choice first of all was based that I wanted to explain to the readers the structures that were not described previously, and also I wanted to take the structures that I have very good experience. So majority of the structures are coming from my games. So always when I teach not something abstract, but the things that I have a very good experience, and the best experience, of course, from my own games.
So how important do you think these pawn structures are for your game?
Yes, this is very important. For example, there was a book published in the Soviet Union by Zlotnik, a very famous author from the Soviet Union, and he dealt with only several of the pawn structures, and this was the table book for every chess player in the Soviet Union. And this book was a huge success in the Soviet Union, really very important one. And so also I had to do something special and to make it more wide, more open for everyone to study. And if you study different books on pawn structures, they complement each other. And at the end, studying different books, you can get a complete knowledge of chess.
In the second book, you discuss the activity and value of different pieces. Could you share your thoughts on that?
Yes, so the piece has a fixed value. So, of course, everybody knows that one pawn costs 1, and bishop, knight cost 3, queen costs 9, rook 4.5. But also we have to look at the value of pieces regarding their position on board. And for example, if the piece stands in the center of the board, then it has the most of the value. But if the piece stands on the side of the board, it has less value. And of course, it is a little bit abstract, so I was given a lot of specific explanations to understand to put the pieces in the correct square. And if you put a piece in a bad square, it can very dramatically affect the value.
Now I'm going to ask for some advice. For example, what's your advice for cramped and passive positions?
Yes, if you have passive positions, you have to trade the pieces to get more space. And of course, the easiest would be to ask the question what you can do to improve the position of the bad standing pieces. But of course, I'm explaining this in full details in my book. And if you find the copy of this book, you can learn a lot. It is not a question that you can answer in one phrase in 1 minute. You have to study such examples.
So how can players avoid time travel in such situations?
Yes, time travel is a very psychological thing, because in many positions you continue thinking on chess, taking decisions when it is absolutely necessary. And in order to avoid time troubles, you first of all need to have a good self-discipline. And if you have self-discipline, control the time, you will never be in time trouble. I can compare the situation with, for example, there are certain people who are always late, no matter what, because they always delay the decision or going out of the house until the last moment, and they are always late. But there are people who are always punctual, and they are never late. So also getting into time trouble, it is a similar situation. So I believe it is more psychological than the technical one.
That's a very good answer. So in your book, you also emphasize the importance of exchanges. Can you give us a practical example related to this?
Yes, also it is a very common mistake for all types of the players, not only the beginners but also grandmasters. Also, a lot of players forget that the exchange is not obligatory one. For example, when somebody offers you an exchange, you are not forced to trade your pieces. Also, regarding the value of the pieces, you have to evaluate whether your piece is stronger than the piece of the opponent. If you have a better piece, you do not trade it for the worst piece of the opponent. And the value of the pieces in each current situation also makes the influence on the trade. So these items, the subjects are connected between each other.
So how do you choose the best strategy in different positions?
To choose what?
the best strategy?
The best strategy comes with the experience, and of course you need to learn a lot of things in chess, because if you don't know anything in chess, you will be making mistakes. But after you learn something, your knowledge becomes better and better, and then you will be able to take correct decisions.
I'm very honored to have you here. Thank you for answering these questions.
Okay, thank you very much. With pleasure.